We started packing him up right away. I closed the laptop and stuffed it underneath my jacket. It tickles. Shh, you can't talk right now. We're going to move you to another room. Until we get there, you have to be absolutely silent, okay? Understood. Your command has been implemented. Good. Davin react like a machine like that all of a sudden? I didn't know how to react.
Makoto.
In the secret room, there were a bunch of cables. There are a bunch of different cables in one of the desk drawers. So there might be a network cable in there.
However,
Assuming the mastermind hasn't taken it already. Well, all we could do is go and check for ourselves.
it's true.
Agreed. Let's head to the secret room. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Why is everyone there? Oh, everyone's just in the way, that's all.
Hey,
Hey, Makoto.
why?
Are you sure all the documents are gone? I refuse to believe you. Go and check again. What?
Listen to me.
Just hurry up and go, and make sure you don't run off. I'm gonna wait right here. Oh, I get it. She's acting. She was so forceful. I thought I made her mad again somehow.
Just a second.
Why are you just standing there? Hurry up and go. Okay, I'm going.
So then,
And be thorough. I'm counting on you. Okay, first we have to find a network cable. According to Kyoko, there should be a bunch of cables in this drawer. Found it. This is a network cable, right? That looks like an HDMI from here. Now I just have to connect Alter Ego. I immediately got to work. I pulled out the laptop and connected it to the Ethernet port with the cable. And that should do it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it worked.
Leave it to me.
Just leave the rest to me. I swear I'll find something. I might even be able to connect to the outside world if I can. I'll see if I can call for help. So please, just wait a little while longer. Just hold tight and put your faith in me. As I was about to leave, I decided to leave him with one last thing. No matter what, we're gonna get out of here. You and all the rest of us as friends. Friends? Even me? Thank you. Thank you, Makoto.
Makoto.
How'd it go? Well, it went okay, but all the documents were gone, just like I told you. My reply was an unintentional mix of acting and real feelings.
Correct.
I see. Then there's nothing left for us here.
Goodbye.
Before I knew it, Kyoko was walking away. She wasn't acting anymore. That much was for sure. Kyoko.
What?
Yes? So we're just gonna split up?
Why is that?
Of course, I've no reason to stay with you at this point. Well, maybe, but isn't it a little too direct?
Whew.
Should I hesitate and fumble for something to say? You're so high maintenance. That's not what I meant. I just had more I wanted to talk to you about, like, what are we going to do about Sakura?
It's true.
Well, something has to be done, it's true.
However,
But the way things are right now, there's no way to persuade anyone. They don't have the mind to listen. And what should we...
so
If we can find some new clue that would likely change the situation, that's all we can hope for right now. Which is why Alter Ego...
Correct.
All we can do is wait and believe in our friends. You're right. That's our only option. We parted ways and I headed back to my room. I'm kind of tired, so I laid down in bed. Maybe it was because of the stress of moving Alter Ego, but I was way more tired than I realized, so before long at all, I fell asleep. I completely dozed off. The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleepy haze and pulled me back to the real world.
Makoto.
Get out here. Kyoko, what's going on?
Indeed.
Hina just came to see me and she was white as a ghost. It sounded like something's happened. What? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little faster. I suddenly found myself wide awake. She said for us to come to the rec room. The rec room? Okay, let's hurry. Makoto, Kyoko. Hina, what's wrong? Something's not right. In the rec room. It's inside. There was a window on the rec room door. And I hurried to look inside, and when I did... She unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head.
Hey.
What's going on? Did something happen to her?
Huh?
I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window, but I couldn't open the door. I tried knocking, I tried calling her name, but she wouldn't respond. There's bottles missing. So what should we do? What are we gonna do?
Anyway.
First of all, we need to get into that room, but the door's locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations.
Listen to me.
We're going to force our way in. I just said
Wrong.
the door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room doesn't have a lock. And why?
It would
Feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair? Chair?
In other
Either way,
words,
this door isn't locked, which means as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in.
Indeed.
Let's smash the window. That should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait right here. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure. Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence, but that silence didn't last long. Here. I found a broom in the classroom. Use it.
Makoto.
You can handle this, right, Makoto? Come on, please hurry. Okay, you two stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could, aiming directly at the window. All it took was one solid hit. The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed on it with all my strength, and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her... all I felt was cold death. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body, and then... poison.
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin! Danganrompa.
Oh boy.
Huh? Sakura's
Poor Hina.
dead? She's really dead?
I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on, at Sakura's dead body. We didn't make it in time. It's happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead, checking for a pulse or a reaction? I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room, and Why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone. Ogre.
Yes.
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura's been killed. I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
Just a
You
second.
heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you're going to say?
Huh?
No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room.
It's your fault!
It's one of you. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. One of you killed Sakura.
What?
You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation. I don't need to investigate anything, because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it. I know it. You know it?
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad.
What the heck?
What are you doing here?
Come
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out a little murder file.
It's the Monokuma file! Yeah.
And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina. Or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Lewd. Now then, with that, Hold on. There's something I want to ask you.
Huh?
It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura?
Say what?
Uh-huh. Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again and
In
then...
other words,
Then I killed her? Sorry, not quite, actually. Not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me.
phew,
Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, I would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that.
hey,
I gotta tell you, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So, I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one.
What is this?
You owe them one? Before you get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right? I feel like it's Toko.
What is this?
What the hell? He owes them one?
I won't forgive you.
I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway,
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fine.
Okay then. Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
what?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order?
That's fine.
Fine. I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say.
What?
Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene.
Huh?
What?
It's
One
your
of you killed
fault.
Sakura.
I won't
I won't
forgive
let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Stop
Don't
talking.
be stupid. Our lives are just in as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
It's all clear now.
I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
Yep.
Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hero, do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
It's all clear.
Then it's decided. Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But
Hey,
we have to find out who killed Sakura.
correct.
For those of us still alive and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
Listen,
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
Listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's kind of hopeless. Hope. We have no choice but to just do it. All right. There's a handkerchief. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura. The time of death is estimated to be around literally noon, lunchtime, broad daylight. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered a violent vomiting of blood.
hey,
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
so...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair from the inside the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
In other words,
This is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever, but could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
hey,
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
that's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving locking of the room. Basic approach include using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh,
In other
basically
words,
the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
however,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we could probably cross that one off the list.
it's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
In other
They
words,
stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. It sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe.
it's true.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room.
In other words,
By that, I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible. I bet you it's the locker. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to the locker room mystery, those are the basics. There are 4 possibilities. Then Kyogo, which of the 4 choices seems most likely in this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room? Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. What's this, for starters? This looks like some kind of wrapper.
Huh?
Do you recognize it, Nina?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get back into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much. But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor. You know. Polka dot candy wrapper. Okay. Start. That's a good start. What is this? Those are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? Oh. So this must have originally been a bottle, yes. Glass shards have been added to the Truth Handbook. There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure, and it fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. Figure on the floor. Interesting. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And, oh, inside each bottle there's some kind of a Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how they get those figures inside the bottle. No. Notice that there's 2 bottles missing. It's no different from your standard chip in a bottle. You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the bow placed inside. You've never seen that? Well, yeah. Maybe I have.
In other words,
So this is Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Okay. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little. Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. there's a bloodstain in front of the magazine shelf. Must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Is that where she threw up the blood? Maybe somebody, like, what's that called? I can't think of the word. Like, asphyxiated her with some poison, and then she threw up the blood, and then went to go sit down, and they beamed her in the head with the bottle. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that that's what killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Status of Sakura's body has been added to the handbook. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Byakuya.
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. Huh, the locker's open. And there on the inside, it's a handprint.
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint and all that dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Yeah, their group's too small now. Why not?
Hey,
In fact, before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? The door was already open. Okay, and the locker was already open at that point.
indeed.
So there's no way someone could have been hidden in there until after we opened the door. So maybe they were in there as a way of hiding to get to Sakura. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? Same shelf full of magazines. No. Okay. Oh. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So,
It looks like a protein drink and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. Chem A2, jeez. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the chem lab had all kinds of health stuff. So, she must have gotten this from the chem lab.
Just a
But
second.
that's strange. What is it?
Hey,
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be part of the window I broke to get inside.
correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they are also underneath it. What does that matter?
So,
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. As if it was put there after. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. As if the evidence was dropped in after we came in. Maybe. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Okay.
however,
But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away. I'm not even trying to hide how much he despises me. I'd better go before he crushes my soul completely. Oh boy.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro, it had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually, she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this would never have happened. Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
What?
What do you want? There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay. God, I can't stand this man. I don't think there's anything else. This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This door kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not the outside. Okay.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so for the most part.
So then...
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
Listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. I'm trying to leave. Okay, I guess I won't that way. Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms. What makes you say that? I pressed the doorbell. And after a few seconds, let's see, it's Genocide Jack opening. Nope. Who's there? The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
I know. Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me that she asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said 2, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So you can tell me about it? I admit it, I did get the note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Not really, she just tried to lie. Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Alright, all that's left is... Where are you? Oh, there we go. I pressed the doorbell. This area must be very quiet for him.
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How do you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But she didn't write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura. No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
Last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at
I haven't
me.
seen her since then. Well, I'm here. Could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come
Sorry, it looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pockets.
What?
Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come
Sorry,
on.
just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that it was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start? Well, I want to check the trash room really quick. Because he did say that he had to throw out the trash, but he didn't. Okay, worth a shot.